Hey guys, what's up? Snowflake here, and welcome to episode 6 of Oblivion. Now, last time was a pretty long one, as we pretty much just met Boris, found out that it was the Mythic Dawn who assassinated the Emperor, and together with Boris we were able to recover the copies of Mythic Dawn commentaries, and unfortunately, rest in peace Boris, he served us well. We had to go on with the quest without him, but fortunately we've managed to track down where the Mythic Dawn are hiding, and now we can go over there and retrieve the Amulet of Kings. Now, one thing I said I was going to do from last time was set up the spreadsheet with all of my items so I could stop second guessing myself whether I had an item or not. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get around to doing that, so yeah, this is going to be another improvisation episode. I'll try and get it done as soon as possible. But for now, we're going to travel to the Black Waterside Stables outside Shadenall, and then walk up to Lake Arius Caverns. And it might be good if I brought out my sword. Well, apparently I can just take this cheap wine, so I'll do that. Okay, off we go. There's the scaling already, huh? I found Fight Knights of the Fallen Lodge. Okay, I know what that is, but my character has no idea. So we're just gonna walk past that. I have no idea how these guys are gonna react to me coming. So this could be a massive fight, or this could be a stealth operation. Doesn't seem to be anyone. We're quite close to Lake Arius Caverns. Not really. But we haven't seen any Mythic Dawn people in the area. Oh. Some creature spotted me. I'm guessing it's that wolf. Alright, come get it, bud. There we go. Take his pelt. I think that's our first wolf pelt. I have no idea. In fact, how far have we ventured out into the wild before? I don't think we've done it too many times. Not in this save anyway. Not even for Cloud Ruler Temple, no, we've just fast travelled there. So I think this is the first time we've had to go out and actually find a place. Although that's not actually that difficult. Okay, Lake Arius Caverns. I'm guessing this is Lake Arius. Oh, imp. Okay, they sting a little, but let's try and dodge this. There we go. And some imp ball for the first time. We've got a little clouded funnel cap here. I don't remember if we have already. I don't know, so I'm not going to risk using it. Okay, let's heal up. Oh, there's a plant there I don't think we've seen. Motherwort. What's this up here? Nice, definitely saw something up there. Come on, let me jump. Please. Oh, fine, we'll do this the long way. Sure, okay. Maybe I was tripping and I didn't actually see anything there. There we go. Cross going through the rocks, classic Oblivion. Oh, here we are. Doesn't seem to be anyone on the outside, but I suppose that could be because yeah, that was our first Mother War sprig. Could be because they're trying to hide from everyone and not be seen. You know, they kind of killed the Emperor. They got to stay in a hidden location. So there's no telling what we're going to find when we go in here, so I'm going to save it. And let's go. I have arrived at Lake Arius Caverns. The secret Mythic Dawn shrine must be somewhere inside. Unless we were wrong. Okay, Amulet. There we go. Let's get our mini-map open. Oh, well, that's pretty unmistakable, isn't it? Okay. See if we can surround him. Alright, let's go and take him out. No, he's not attacking us. Okay, that's good. Doesn't suspect us.
Dawn is breaking.
Unnamed doorkeeper, greet the new day.
Welcome, brother. The hour is late, but the Master still has need for willing hands.
Oh, they think I've found them.
You may pass into the shrine. Harrow will take you to the Master for your initiation into the service of Lord Dagon.
Oh.
Do not tarry. The time of preparation is almost over. The time of cleansing is near.
Ooh. Gotcha, buddy.
Harrow awaits within. You should not linger here.
Okay. So we're supposed to pretend to be their friends. Gotcha.
Harrow awaits within.
Just... easy there.
I am Harrow, Warden of the Shrine of Dagon.
Evening.
By following the path of dawn, hidden in the writings of the Master, Mankar Cameron, you have earned a place among the Chosen. You have arrived at an opportune time. You may have the honor to be initiated into the Order by the Master himself.
Who's that?
As a member of the Order of the Mythic Dawn,
Is that
everything
Mankar
you
Cameron?
need will be provided for you from the Master's bounty.
Guess so.
Give me your possessions, and put on this initiate's robe.
Ooh. Ooh. Now this is a difficult choice. So I can try and blend in to be like one of them, but I have to give him all of my stuff, including my weapons, which I'm not too keen on doing. So you know what? No, I want to keep my stuff.
What? I must warn you, no one leaves this place who does not bind himself to the service of Lord Dagon.
Except for me.
But I am sure you will reconsider. You have proven yourself worthy and dedicated to have come this
You can
far.
butter me up all you want.
I ask you one last time. Give me your possessions. The Master requires it of all initiates.
I don't care, boy. I'm not here to join the Order.
Then you have come here to die.
Alright.
Paradise awaits me.
Yeah. Get absolutely destroyed. Take your key and your meager free gold. Where's that doorkeeper at?
For Lord Dagon!
You want to go? You actually want to go? Oh, he does want to go. What did he do to me? Another Shrine of Dagon key. Bit more cash. Nice. Yeah, we ain't gonna pretend to be one of them. Okay, is that all there is here? Oh, there's something else I missed. But I think it may be behind a hidden door if I remember right. Yeah. This is a rock wall which I cannot interact with. Usually when that happens in Oblivion, that's like your escape route. Or I guess in any Elder Scrolls game, and probably in a lot of other games similar to Elder Scrolls games. Okay, let's head into the Shrine Antechamber. This is a very open area. Not sure how comfortable I feel over here. There's a door that... oh. And someone just come through it. Let's save again.
What's that?
What's that? Nice. Oh, there's two of them. There's three of them. There's four of them. Oh my god. What have I gotten myself into? Oh,
be glad you will not live to see the day Lord Dagon walks the earth.
What am I doing? I'm not even organised.
The time of cleansing is almost
this
here.
could be it for me.
The dawn is breaking.
I'm not even cleansing
is
well.
almost here. Be glad you will not live to see the day Lord Dagon walks the earth. Lord Dagon will welcome your soul in Oblivion!
I get popped. Okay. Note to self, there is 4 people there. Okay. Let's see if we can do this a little bit more skillfully. Well. That face is like, you okay, bro? I'll take those.
I do not.
Hey, all of a sudden it became a lot easier. Now, all of a sudden 2 of them are dead like that. It calls for a save. Okay, so we can't go that way. I'm assuming there's some kind of lever on the other side, yeah. That's probably my way out as well. So there's 2 more people somewhere around here, right? Somehow they managed to get attracted all the way here from... Okay, should we turn? No, let's go.
Lord Dagon will welcome your soul.
All of a sudden these guys became easy. I didn't change the difficulty level, did I? No. Why were these guys so hard just a second ago? Granted there were 4 of them, but... Take your torch. Let's go back this way. See what's behind door number 1. Left or right? Let's go right because that looks like more of a dead end. Ooh, hello. Nice and easy. More boots, more money. In fact, what boots are we wearing now? Okay, we're wearing leather boots. Untouched leather boots. Solid. Take the torch. I'm guessing this is like a mini shrine to Miriam's Dagon. Take the apple and we'll take the cheese. Is there anything else in here? Nope. Time to brew up. Actually, what can we do with the Camberlet cap that we got earlier? I'm sure we have some of that already. Restore health potion. It's valuable. Okay, let's see what's behind the left side. Oh, someone's eating. And someone's no longer eating. Ooh, a nice little expensive pot. Summon Scamp scroll. A couple of gold. Very nice. What else do you have in here? Carrot, onion. Corn, leek, another onion. Apple. Okay, these items I need to be careful of, but I think we have them all. Minor detect life and gold. Apple and some books. Oh look, Mythic Dawn commentaries. 1, 2, and 3. So even these guys don't have 4, and this is the Mythic Dawn secret base. Now there's a bed here too, so we can level up. But before we take a snooze, let's have a quick read of this book we've just found, which is called Gods and Worship. Which is weird to find in a Mythic Dawn hideaway. Okay. An overview of Gods and Worship in Tamriel by Brother Hechfeld. Editor's note: Brother Hechfeld is an associate scribe at the Imperial University Office of Introductory Studies. Gods are commonly judged upon the evidence of their interest in worldly matters. A central belief in the active participation of deities in mundane matters can be challenged by the reference to apparent apathy and indifference on the part of gods during times of plague or famine. From intervention in legendary quests to manifestations in common daily life, no pattern for the gods of Tamriel activities is readily perceived. The concerns of gods in many ways may seem unrelated, or at best unconcerned with the daily trials of the mortal realm. The exceptions do exist, however. Many historical records and legends point to the direct intervention of one or more gods at times of great need. Many heroic tales recount blessings of a divinity bestowed upon heroic figures who worked or quested for the good of a deity or the deity's temple. Some of the more powerful artifacts in the known world were originally bestowed upon their owners through such reward. It has also been reported that priests of high ranking in their temples may on occasion call upon their deity for blessings or help in time of need. The exact nature of such contact and the blessings bestowed is given to much speculation, as the temples hold such associations secret and holy. This direct contact gives weight to the belief that the gods are aware of the mortal realm. In many circumstances, however, these same gods will do nothing in the face of suffering and death, seeming to feel no need to interfere. It is thus possible to conclude that we, as mortals, may not be capable of understanding more than a small fraction of the reasoning and logic such beings use. One defining characteristic of all gods and goddesses is their interest in worship and deeds. Deeds in the form of holy quests are just one of the many things that bring the attention of a deity. Deeds in everyday life, by conforming to the statutes and obligations of individual temples, are commonly supposed to please a deity. Performance of ceremony in a temple may also bring a deity's attention. Ceremonies vary according to the individual deity. The results are not always apparent, but sacrifice and offerings have usually required to have any hope of gaining a deity's attention. While direct intervention in daily temple life has been recorded, the exact nature of the presence of a god in daily mundane life is a subject of controversy. The traditional saying of the Wood Elves is that one man's miracle is another man's accident. While some gods are believed to take an active part of daily life, others are well known for their lack of interest in temporal affairs. It has been theorized that gods do in fact gain strength from such things as worship through praise, sacrifice, and deed. It may even be theorized that the number of worshippers a given deity has may reflect on his overall position among the other gods. This, my own conjecture, garnered from the apparent ability of the larger temples to attain blessings and assistance from their god with greater ease than smaller religious institutions. There are reports of the existence of spirits in our world that have the same capacity to use the actions and deeds of mortals to strengthen themselves as do the gods. The understanding of the exact nature of such creatures would allow us to understand with more clarity the connection between a deity and the deity's worshippers. The implication of the existence of such spirits leads to the speculation that these spirits may even be capable of raising themselves to the level of a god or goddess. But Tosuo of the Imperial Seminary has suggested that these spirits may be the remains of gods and goddesses who through time lost all or most of their following, reverting to their earliest, most basic form. Practitioners of the old ways say that there are no gods, just greater and lesser spirits. Perhaps it is possible for all three theories to be true. Alright, so basically a bunch of theories about the gods. No real proof, so take that all with a grain of salt, I suppose. Maybe this guy was reading it trying to see if the gods have a weakness. And it seems like he'll never be able to find out. Okay. Let's make some more stuff. Carrot, apple, corn, and leek to restore fatigue. Onion, apple, lettuce, another restore fatigue, and heck, one more. Pretty confident I had all of those food items in my chest anyway. Okay, mini-map on. Where are we headed? I'm forgetting where we came from. It must have been Lake Arius Caverns. We came from this way. Alright, and we can't go that way because of portcullis, is that what it's called? What's this? The door to Dagon Shrine. Okay, we'll head there in a second because I'm assuming that's where we're supposed to go. Let's see what's around here. A wood door with a hard lock, and none of the keys we've picked up so far open it. And I forgot to do something, which I said I was going to do. Of course, a good book always tends to distract you, doesn't it? Okay. This way there was the bed. Yeah, okay. Let's rest for an hour and get our level up. Oh man. I only got that level up when I died last time. My bad. Let's not rest an hour instead. Let's head back to that door. We do have a level up soon, I can only assume. There's another dead end coming up. So there's gonna be another guy down here. Nope. It's like a free-for-all. Nice. Storage room. Take these torches. Don't need that. Another torch. Do the chest last because chests usually have the best loot. Burgundy linens, worth something, grab it. Belted braize, quilted doublet. Not sure if we need a stone cup, we'll take it anyway. Another Mythic Dawn robe. I mean, could I not just wear it now? Weak potion of dispel. Mini armory here, there's an iron short sword and an iron mace. Pretty sure we have those, we'll drop them if we need to later. Okay, let's open the chests. Ooh, that's a soul get. Some money. Ornday's Aura Tome and some gold. This isn't our first tome. I'm pretty sure we've had another one before. But just in case it isn't, tomes are books that have a spell in them, and if you read them, that spell becomes yours. You may not necessarily be able to use it because it depends on having a certain skill level and magicka, but the spell gets added to your list. So So let's add that on day's aura. So restoration skill. Ooh, that is a really weird spell. Fortify willpower, blade, mysticism, and destruction, but take sun damage on yourself. It's like a vampire spell, really. I wonder who Onde is. Anyway, we may find out later. We have that turn. This chest we did, and this chest we're gonna have to unlock. Now I've got the level up. Fabulous. Okay, it's getting a little annoying. I'm normally better at lockpicking than this. I've also played a lot of League just now, so my wrists are kind of tired. Okay, we've got Fire Shield, Insulation, Bound Boots, another book, Mystery of Talara Volume 2, and 95 gold. That's quite chunky. And we got a new book to read. Mystery of Talara Volume 2. And it was a skill book as well. Restoration goes up. Okay, The Mystery of Princess Talara Part 2 by Mera Likith. She felt nothing. Darkness enveloping her body and mind. Pain surged through her leg, and with that sensation a great feeling of cold washed over her. She opened her eyes and saw that she was drowning. Her left leg would not move at all, but using her right one and her arms she pulled herself up toward the moons above. It was a long way through the swirling currents that wrenched back at her. At last she broke the surface and sucked in the cold night air. She was still close to the rocky shoreline of the capital city of the kingdom of Camlorn, but the water had carried her quite a ways from the point where she fell at Cavalstill Rock. Not fell, she thought, correcting herself. She had been pushed. Further down current she allowed herself to drift. There the steep cliff walls sloped lower until they were close to the water's edge. The silhouette of a large house on the shore loomed ahead, and as she neared it she could see smoke rising from the chimney and the flicker of firelight within. The pain in her leg was great, but greater still was the chill of the water. The thought of a warm hearth-fire was all the motivation she needed to begin swimming again. At the shore's edge she tried to stand, but found she couldn't. Her tears mixed with the seawater as she began to crawl across the sand and rock. The simple white sheet which had been her costume at the flower festival was tattered and felt like a weight of lead across her back. Beyond the point of exhaustion she fell forward and began to sob. "Please," she cried, "if you can hear me, please help." A moment later the door to the house opened, and a woman stepped out. It was Ramka, the old lady she had met at the flower festival. The one who had started and cried, "It's her!" even before she herself knew who she was. By contrast, when the old woman came to her, this time there was no glimmer of recognition in her eyes. "By Sephiete, are you hurt?" Ramke whispered, and helped her up, acting as her crutch. "I've seen that gown before. Were you one of the dancers at the flower festival tonight? I was there with Lady Gilia Reyes, the daughter of the king." "I know. She introduced us," she groaned. "I called myself Gaina of Daggerfall." "Of course. I knew you looked familiar somehow." The old woman chuckled and led her hop by hop across the beach and into the front door. "My memory isn't as good as it used to be. Let's get you warm and have a look at that leg." Ramka took Gina's soaking rags and covered her with a blanket as she sat at the fire. As the numbness of the chill water began to leave her, it cruelly abandoned her to the intense agony of her leg. Until then she had not dared to look at it. When she did, she felt vomit rise at the sight of a deep gash, fish-white, dead flesh, plump and swollen. Thick arterial blood bubbled up, splashing on the floor in streams. "Ew." "Oh dear," said the old woman, returning to the fire. "That must rather sting. You're lucky that I still remember a little of the old healing spells." Alright, hence the fact this is a restoration skill book. Ramka seated herself on the floor and pressed her hands on either side of a wound. Gina felt a flare of pain and then a cool, soft pinching and prickle. When she looked down, Ramka was slowly sliding her wrinkled hands towards one another. At their approach, the lesion began to mend before her eyes, flesh binding and bruises fading. "Sweet Kinnereth," Gina gasped, "you've saved my life." "Not only that, you won't have an ugly scar on your pretty leg," Remke chuckled. "I had to use that spell so many times when Lady Killia was little. You know, I was her nursemaid." "I know," Gina smiled, "but that was a long time ago, and you still remember the spell." "Oh, when you're learning anything, even the School of Restoration, there's always a lot of study and mistakes. But once you're as old as I am, there's no longer any need to remember things. You just know. After all, I probably cast it 1,000 times before. Little Lady Killia and the little Princess Talara was always getting cut and bruised." "Oh, so is Gina Talara? Is that what the mystery is?" Starting to get that hint. I haven't read Volume 1, but you can sort of tell Gina's saying "I know" and acting like she knows who Remke is, so that's my theory anyway. Was always getting cut and bruised. Small wonder the way they was always climbing all over the palace. Gina sighed. "You must have loved Lady Killia very much." "I still do," Remke beamed, "but now she's all grown and things are different. You know, I didn't notice it before because you were all wet from the sea, but you look very much like my lady. Did I mention that before when we met at the festival?" "Oh, so maybe they're twins." "You did," said Gina, "or rather I think you thought I looked like Princess Talara." "Oh, it would be so wonderful if you were the princess returned," the old woman gasped. "You know, when the former royal family was killed, and everyone said the princess was killed, but we never found the body, I think the real victim was Lady Killia. Her little heart just broke, and for a while it looked like her mind did too." "What do you mean?" asked Gina. "What happened?" "I don't know if I should tell a stranger this, but it's fairly well known in Camlorn, and I really feel like I know you." Ramka struggled with her conscience, and then released. "Killia saw the assassination, you see. I found her afterwards, hiding in that terrible blood-stained throne room, and she was like a little broken doll. She wouldn't speak, she wouldn't eat. I tried all my healing spells, but it was quite beyond my power. So much more than a scraped knee. Her father, who was then Duke of Oloin, sent her to a sanitarium in the country to get well." "That poor little girl," cried Gina. "It took her years to be herself again," said Ramka, nodding, "and in truth she never really returned altogether. You wonder why her father, when he was made king, didn't make her his heir? He thought that she was still not exactly right. And in a way, as much as I would deny it, he's correct to think so. She remembered nothing at all. Do you think," Gina considered her words carefully, "that she would be better if she knew that her cousin, the Princess Talara, was alive and well?" Ramke considered it. "I think so, but maybe not. Sometimes it's best not to hope." Gina stood up, finding her leg to be as strong as it looked to be. Her gown had dried, and Ramke gave her a cloak, insisting she protect herself against the cold night air. At the door, Gina kissed the old woman's cheek and thanked her, not only for the healing spell and for the cloak, but for everything else of kindness she had ever done. The road close to the house went north and south. To the left was the way back to Camlorn, where secrets lay, to which she alone held the key. To the south was Daggerfall, her home for more than 20 years. She could return there, back to her profession on the streets, very easily. For a few seconds she considered her options and then made her choice. She had not been walking for very long when a black carriage drawn by 3 horses, bearing the imperial seal, together with 8 mounted horses, passed her. Before it rounded the wooded pass ahead, it stopped suddenly. She recognized one of the soldiers as Norbuth, Lord Strail's manservant. The door opened, and Lord Strail himself, the Emperor's ambassador, the man who had hired her and all the other women to entertain at court, stepped out. "You," he frowned. "You're one of the prostitutes, aren't you? You're the one who disappeared during the flower festival. Gina, am I right?" "All that is true," she smiled sourly. "Except my name, I've discovered, is not Gina." "I don't care what it is," said Lord Strail. "What are you doing on the South Road? I paid for you to stay and make the kingdom merry." If I went back to Camlorn, there are a great many who wouldn't be merry at all. Explain yourself, said Lord Strail. So she did, and he listened. Boom. Here's Mystery of Talara Volume 2. Guessing she explains that she's actually Talara. But, yeah, it's not confirmed. Let's go find a bed to sleep in. Kind of felt like a bedtime story. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting read. Hopefully we'll come across Volume 1 at some point. I'm guessing Volume 2 is kind of just like a random book spawn. Let's double check there's nothing else in the area. I think we're good. Okay. Okay, you have ascended to level 5. Everything you do is just a bit easier, more instinctive, more satisfying. It is as though you had suddenly developed keen senses and instincts. Okay, and we're gonna go +3 agility, +3 endurance, and +2 speed. Okay, so we've waited an hour, so I think it's possible that people could have moved around, so there might be enemies, because these guys also have their own schedules. It doesn't appear that any of them are within sight. Showing a Dagon key. Cool. Okay, we're at the Dagon shrine. It's a very big room. Oh.
The dragon throne is empty.
Is that Mythic Dawn?
Amulet of Kings. Praise be to your brothers and sisters. Great shall be their reward in paradise.
Praise be.
There's quite a lot of people there.
Hear now the words of Lord Dagon. When I walk the earth again, the faithful among you shall receive your reward, to be set above all other mortals forever. As for the rest, the weak shall be winnowed, the timid shall be cast down, the mighty shall tremble at my feet and pray for pardon.
So saith Lord Dagon. Praise be.
Okay, they're just mindless slaves.
Your reward, brothers and sisters. The time of cleansing draws nigh. I go now to paradise. I shall
Paradise?
return with Lord Dagon at the coming of the dawn.
Okay, cool. Cause some rock. Oh, what's he doing there? He's made a. Looks like a portal. Man called Cameron escaped to his realm of paradise with the Amulet of Kings. Oh, he had the amulet. Snap. And closed his magical portal behind him. But the Mysterium Xarxes itself is here in the shrine. I must get the Mysterium Xarxes. It is my only hope of finding a way to recover the amulet now. Well, it's a good thing I know that you're not supposed to get the amulet now. Otherwise, I would have wondered if I should have just, you know, done a rush for Mankar and tried to yank the amulet off him. Unfortunately, you're not able to do that. Let's save here because this can be pretty tough.
Hello?
Yo, what up?
Who's there? Oh, Lord Dagon!
Ow! Yeah, that's right.
Paradise awaits.
There we go, we've taken 2 of them. Stop with the lightning. Fight me like mano a mano. There we go.
Run away!
These guys are weak as heck.
I do not fear death.
Even one of them there didn't even notice me. Alright, well. make sure they get the memo. There's another one there. Let's save, because that was pretty awesome.
What's that?
Hello? Who's there?
Rumor Cameron? Oh, so that looks like a weird relative?
Yes.
Okay.
You are weak like a
For Lord Dagon!
There we go.
Nice.
Uh-oh. I'm dying. I'm dying. And I'm riding right towards...
You are like the gods you pray to!
Oh boy. And I'm dead. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, that was a little bit better.
Paradise awaits me.
Lord Dagon will welcome your soul in Oblivion!
Okay, at that distance is fine. Oof. Yep, she's out of Magica. There we go. Alright, that calls for a save. Rumor Cameron, you are a tough opponent. See if we can take out this other dude. He's not even facing the right way. Look at him.
I do not fear death.
I don't know.
The time of cleansing
Oh, you have
is
lightning
almost
too. Allow
Lord Dagon will welcome your soul in Oblivion!
me. Uh-oh. Staggered. Didn't think about my fatigue when I started doing this. He's gonna lightning me any second.
Be glad you will not live to see the day Lord Dagon walks the earth.
I will not live? No, I will not. I was waiting for the lightning and then I forgot about it. And I remembered right as he was zapping me. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we?
Paradise. I do.
That went a lot better.
The time of cleansing is almost
He's wasted his
here.
lightning. Alright, he's out of Magica.
Be glad you will die unbelievable.
Didn't even get hit this time. Alright, well, let's get to looting. Other no-name guards here. Or bread loaf. Don't mind if I do. Iron dagger, potato, absorb fatigue. Silver dagger, corn. I don't think I killed anyone up here, did I? I did. Iron short sword and cheese wedge. Oh, do they all have like a little bit of food? And they all sort of combine to form one big food? Okay, I don't think we've looted this person. Oh, Rumor, yes, we definitely didn't. Ooh, lesser staff of lightning. Good thing she didn't whip this out. That could be useful. Some sandals and some money. Don't have enough magica. Okay, let's explore the area before we claim our prize. I mean, normally this bit's a lot harder for me. Can't explain why it's easier. I don't think I have enchanted rings when I normally do this. So like the fire shield probably does quite a bit to help. Okay, so this door doesn't open. Maybe it doesn't open until I take the Mysterium Xarxes. Alright, well, that makes sense, I guess. I don't know why I'm putting my weapon away, there's really no need. There's another corpse here. Jesus, oh, he ain't even dead. Can I talk to him? Why is he sleeping? Oh, prisoner. Do I want to release the prisoner? Yeah, sure. Make a break for it, dude. Okay, he won't talk to me. He just wants to get the hell out of there. No worries, dude. And there it is, a Mysterium Xerxes. If you can read that, you know more Daedric language than I do. So I'm just going to take that. I have the Mysterium Xerxes, the Mythic Dawn's Book of Secrets. Now I must escape this place and return to Cloud Ruler Temple. And Julius is just going to make a break for it. Oh, and the statue is demolished. Don't think we checked around here. Alright, Julius knows. I hope he survives. There's probably going to be more of these guys. Ooh. That's a platform that's unreachable. Let's save the game. Is there a way we can jump across this, perhaps? Hell yeah. No? What? I should have made that. Oh, is that an invisible wall? That's an invisible wall. Try one more time. Fact. 100% invisible wall. Alright, never mind. Stay healing. Okay, Shrine Living Quarters. So this is somewhere we haven't been. So there's definitely going to be more enemies behind this door. Oh, there's Julius. Uh-oh. Oh. Is that it, huh? So what, mental stood out?
Awaits me.
Is he just going to attract more of these guards to me? Too shabby? More boots, more money. It's okay, Julius. Alright, well. It's probably for the best if he stays in there until I do all the work for him. I mean, he is naked, he doesn't have any armor, so I sympathize with him a little. Okay, nothing over here. Huh? Oh, Julius. Don't bring more of them here, please, Julius. God's sake, Julius. Come get me. Don't run away. Oh, this guy doesn't even have the armor.
You cannot escape the master's vigilance.
Alright, we'll deal with him later then. Jeez. These guys don't even have the armor.
Only the champion.
Ooh. You got lightning,
Don't
yeah?
hurt me.
Oh, God's sake. Take on all comers. Alright, we may have been a bit more than we can chew here. I'm gonna head out. Yeah, I've probably been a little bit more than I can chew. Hopefully you guys can keep the lightning coming.
Die, unbeliever.
Alright, well there's one down. There's another town. Those lightning spells are doing really well.
The time of cleansing is almost here.
The time of cleansing is almost here!
Alright, that's one guy running away. Do you want to fight or not?
I do not fear death! I die, unbeliever! You are weak like the god.
Die, unbeliever.
Uh-oh.
The time of cleansing is almost here.
Oh, I ain't got time for your cleansing. Julius, get the heck out of here. Ha!
Be glad you will not live to see the day Lord Dagon walks the earth.
There's one. Alright, I should be able to deal with this dude. He's... There we go. Solid. And that's how you take on the whole Mythic Dawn base in one go. Oh, he didn't cook earlier. My bad. What do we have? Bread, cheese, corn, potato. What else do we have earlier? I don't know. We'll leave it for now. We'll loot all of these bodies and then we'll start looting. We'll start creating some more pots. Iron dagger, bread loaf, torch 2. Okay. And you, carrot pear. There's got to be a couple in this room as well. Dagger, apple, starlight tome. Okay. Starlight tome. Light. Stuff. Okay. Not one of my favorite spells for sure. Leather boots, gold, torch. And dagger and potato. Is that it? How many more dead bodies are there? Oh, freaking hell, Julius.
You are like the... Don't hurt me!
Ah. Oh, Julius. Is that you with a fire spell, yeah?
What's that?
I'm about to fight another whole base.
The master's
Oh, Julius. My guy.
What's the
He's starting to fight back. Alright, well. Shown we can take down these guys before. Oh, is that where you're going, really? Come back. Mythic Dawn guys want the Age of Destruction, but they don't even know.
You
Ooh.
are weak like the gods you...
Alright, this is a proper god.
Be glad you will not live to see the day Lord Dagon walks the earth. Die, unbeliever!
Yeah, any more?
For Lord Dagon! You cannot escape the master's vengeance. The time of cleansing.
I'm sorry, Julius.
You are weak like the gods you pray to.
There you go.
Die, unbeliever!
Let's get this on.
Paradise awaits me.
Julius hitting me with the spells.
Be glad! You will not
Only
taste
the
the day!
Alright, I'm gonna need to fight.
Dagon walks the
Julius, cover me. Nice work, Julius. This dude knows what he's doing. Yeah, you want some too, buddy?
Hello? Who's there?
Man, I'm so deep into this freaking cave.
Paradise awaits me. The time of cleansing is almost
Ooh,
here.
you got a health pot, do you?
Paradise awaits
Gonna need it,
me.
huh? Alright, and then stop trying to bait me. Oh, this guy's freaking tanky as heck. Oh. Broke my weapon. Oh. That sucks. But he's not aggroed on me, so can I just repair it up here? I only have one repair, man. Damn. Alright, I managed to repair it up quite a bit. Alright, well.
I do not fear death.
Is this guy invincible?
I do not
Bloody
fear
hell.
death.
How much health does he have? Well, this weapon's gonna break again for sure. I am doing damage to him. And I guess this is going to upgrade my blade. Oh, for God's sake, stop running away. Alright, well, that's broken. Silver dagger, I guess. Nice and quick. Finally. Jesus. Well, I've got no weapons for the rest of this trip. Except for... guess this iron short sword is going to be the longest weapon I have. Right, let's get to looting. Rough leather shoes, flare, storm room key, and gold. Let's go back for all the dead people. Leather boots and gold. We've done quite the madness here. Like, we've almost gone through the entire place on a rampage, just killing everybody. I wonder if Julius got out. I hope Julius got out. Iron Dagger, Frost Shield, Bread Loaf, and another Mythic Dawn commentaries. And there's a couple more here. Gold and a silver spoon. Boots, gold. Boots, anti-venom, gold. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anyone left. Okay, we're back to a body I've actually looted. These guys are killed a long time ago. Okay. Coolio. Let's see what this room has to offer. Some clogs. Don't think I have. See some valuable looking stuff here. Have we read the Book of Daedra? I think we have. Maybe not, actually. No, probably not. We'll read that in a sec. Let's gather up all the other stuff. Some soul gems. I'll take a pewter cup just in case. Dagger spell. Minor heal lava. Shopping list. Beer. Lots of beer. New mugs. Enough fruit for 12 guests. 8 loaves of bread. Roast boar. Wow, they're expecting 12 guests? Not anymore. Oh, we can take a basket. Let's take the basket. Potion of personality and weak potion of night eye. Light brown linens. Don't know if... Do we need a clay bowl? No, let's take it anyway. Base necklace of speechcraft. Ooh. Enchanted necklace. Fortifies speechcraft 6 points on self. And 9 gold. Well, I don't have anything else, so might as well put that on. I've got another note here. Head north for an hour or so. You'll see a group of dead trees. Head northeast until you come to the water. Follow the shore upstream. His house is close by. Watch out for bears. Okay, so there's notes like this in a lot of places, and I have to break the mystique now. There is nothing if you follow that. Those are just randomly generated. They don't lead anywhere, and frankly, I feel sorry for anyone who's tried to follow them. Anyway, the Book of Daedra. These are excerpts from this lengthy tome describing the nature of each of the Daedra. Azura, whose sphere is dusk and dawn, the magic in between realms of twilight, known as Moonshadow, Mother of a Rose and Queen of the Night Sky. Boethia, whose sphere is deceit and conspiracy, and the secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. Clavicus Vile, whose sphere is the granting of power and wishes through ritual invocations and pact. Hermaeus Mora, whose sphere is scrying of the tides of fate, of the past and future, as read in the stars and heavens, and in whose dominion are the treasures of knowledge and memory. Hircine, whose sphere is the hunt, the sport of Daedra, the great game, the chase, known as the huntsman and the father of man-beasts. Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the keeper of the sworn oath, and the bloody curse. Mehrunes Dagon, whose sphere is destruction, change, revolution, energy, and ambition. In fact, familiar? Mephala, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, known by the names Webspinner, Spinner, and Spider, whose only consistent theme seems to be interference in the affairs of mortals for her amusement. Meridia, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, who is associated with the energies of living things. Molag Bal, whose sphere is the domination and enslavement of mortals, whose desire is to harvest the souls of mortals and to bring mortal souls within his sway by spreading seeds of strife and discord in the mortal realms. Nemira, whose sphere is the ancient darkness, known as the Spirit Daedra, ruler of sun-dried dark and shadowy spirits, associated with spiders, insects, slugs, and other repulsive creatures which inspire mortals with an instinctive revulsion. Nocturnal, whose sphere is the night and darkness, who is known as the Night Mistress. Periite, whose sphere is the ordering of the lowest orders of Oblivion, known as the Taskmaster. Sanguine, whose sphere is hedonistic revelry and debauchery, and passionate indulgences of darker natures. Sheogorath, whose sphere is madness, and whose motives are unknowable. Vernima, whose sphere is the realm of dreams and nightmares, and from whose realm issues forth evil omens. Especially marked for interest under the heading Malakath, you find a reference to Scourge, blessed by Malakath and dedicated to the use of mortals. In short, the reference suggests that any Daedra attempting to invoke the weapon's powers will be expelled into the void streams of Oblivion. Of the legendary artifacts of the Daedra, many are well known, like Azura's Star and Sheogorath's Wabajak. Others are less well known, like Scourge, Matkan's Hammer, Bane of Daedra. Yet though Malakath blessed Scourge to be potent against his Daedra kin, he thought not that it should fall into Daedric hands, then to serve as a tool for private war among Caitiff and Forsaken. Thus did Malakath curse the device such that should any dark kin seek to invoke its powers, that a void should open and swallow that Daedra and purge him into Oblivion's void streams, from thence to pathfind back to the real and unreal worlds in the full order of time. Bit of a weird ending, but a nice little introduction to all the Daedra Lords and their and some of their artifacts, which we will no doubt come across as we keep playing. Right, let's cook some stuff up. Bread, apple, carrot, and cheese. Bread, corn, pear, and potato. Lovely. Oh, we didn't loot you, did we? Corn and lettuce as well. Okay, what's in this room? Coarse linens. Weak potion of resistance. Bedroll, we don't need it at the moment. Some braided leather sandals. Got a broom. Another Mythic Dawn commentaries. Tan stuff. Not sure about tan picture. Screw it, take the tan cup as well. Another Mythic Dawn commentaries. Manual of Spellcraft. Okay, we'll have a read of that. Manual of Spellcraft, an introductory text. For beginning spellcaster. The most powerful mages in Tamriel were once beginners. We all had similar early experiences. Exposure to magic kindled an interest and/or unlocked some latent ability, followed by years of hard work. These intrepid souls honed their skills, learned new spells, and vigorously trained their minds and bodies to become the formidable figures they were known as during their later lives. The Mages Guild of Tamriel has long been the first stop on a long road to knowledge and power for many individuals. Providing magical services to the general public, the Guild offers a wide variety of spells for purchase, and is recommended as a first stop for any aspiring spellcaster. Independent dealers may be found, though their selection of spells is often not as comprehensive as that of a Mages Guild. Many spells are beyond the capabilities of beginning mages. The ability to render oneself invisible, for example, is an advanced power and is beyond the novice spellcaster. Damn it. Through practice, a mage may become more skilled in a given school of magic and find himself proficient enough to begin exploring its more powerful aspects. The fledgling mage should not be daunted by his inability to wield certain powers, but should instead use this as a point of focus and a drive for bettering himself. Rather than becoming discouraged, the student should look forward to higher levels of skill, such as the advanced techniques of absorbing spells, summoning lesser and eventually greater Daedra and undead, for research purposes only, and protection against specific types of spells, such as fire, frost, and shock spells. Mages wishing to specialize in a particular school of magic are encouraged to learn as many spells as possible within that school, and to practice them frequently. All mages, whether specializing or nurturing a general interest, are encouraged to apply for membership within the Mages Guild. Beyond services available to the general public, the accomplished guild member has access to many exclusive services, such as advanced spellcraft and enchanting. These services have been deemed potentially dangerous to the public at large and have been restricted to higher-ranked guild members in good standing by the Council of Mages. Citizens interested in the further use of magic should consult their local Mages Guild Archmagister. So basically an advert for a Mages Guild. And a warning that beginners may suffer a little bit at the start. Okay, we're almost full of inventory here, so we need to wash ourselves a bit. Take some money. Chest here. Good stuff. Ooh, lesser staff of burden. Interesting. Damage fatigue scroll and some gold, which means we're gonna have to put some stuff back. I know there's definitely some stuff we can put back. Like, let's go to clothes. We don't need 2 braided leather sandals for sure. Don't need 2 cloaks. We'll leave some clothes behind for these poor people. Okay, let's head down this way now. Let's make some more stuff. Corn, lettuce. So, now let's explore this room. Quilted doublet. We have to drop that later. Empty crate. Ooh. A 5,640 value item at level 5. I find that very hard to believe, but we'll take it. Base Amulet of Absorption. Absorbs spells. That could potentially be very useful, as these Mythic Dawn guys like to shoot some lightning at us. We don't need more Mythic Dawn stuff. 20 gold. Potion of Sorcery. Okay. I'm gonna have to put a little bit more back. I know we have sackcloth sandals. Do I? I don't actually know, to be fair. I mean, I probably have a lot of these. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I'm just going to drop something I know we have more than one of. Here's quilted doublet. No. Why don't I just drop this iron? Ironless. There we go. That gives us a lot more room. Okay, we found the big room again. Pretty sure we killed everyone here. Anything hidden on here that we didn't see? Or we can lie down on this lovely stone mattress if we want. I'm gonna pass on that. Okay, nothing here. Wow, absolutely no items in this big room. Fair enough. Oh, torch. Yep, okay, we've definitely looted you. Okay, this room here. There's got to be some stuff in these crates. light brown linen, stitched leather shoes that I don't know if we have or not. Any of these barrels lootable? Yep. Ooh, carrot and cheese. Delicious potion, blue and green outfit, green felt linens. Some bread on the table, some stone stuff. Stone cutlery. Stone cup. Plate, do we need? I don't know. Gonna take it anyway. Cheese. Stone pitcher, I don't know if we need. I'm gonna take. Stone cup, spoon, plate. Okay, some more storage over here. 16 gold. Ooh. Surprising. I've got a cloth, I'm pretty sure, and I've got all of these. Maybe not tan jug. Screw it. Just grab one just in case. More food over here. Nice. Is that it? Okay, yeah, this is probably like a dining room of some sort. Alright, let's cook again. Apple, nope, bread, carrot and cheese. Carrot, cheese, leek and potato. And carrot and leek. Shrine antechamber, we don't need to be going back there. And the very last part. Got this torch. And we never looked inside this chest, which is locked. Oh, base ring of light armor, fortified light armor, that's very nice. Weak potion of healing and another book, Sacred Witness. Well, you know what that means. Reading time. And our sneak skill got buffed by that, which is good. Okay, Sacred Witness. Let's see how that's quite long. Oh well. Sacred Witness, A True History of the Night Mother by Enric Milnes. I have met countesses and courtesans, empresses and witches, ladies of war and slatterns of peace, but I have never met a woman like the Night Mother, and I never will again. I am a writer, a poet of some small renown. If I told you my name, you may have heard of me, but very likely not. For decades until very recently, I had adopted the city of Sentinel on the coast of Hammerfell as my home, and kept the company of other artists, painters, tapestrists, and writers. No one I knew would have known an assassin by sight, least of all the queen of them, the Bloodflower, the Lady Death, the Night Mother. Not that I had not heard of her. Some years ago I had the good fortune of meeting Pelane Assi, a respected scholar who had come to Hammerfell to do research for a book about the Order of Diagna. His essay, The Brothers of Darknesses, together with Inir Gorming's Fire and Darkness, The Brotherhoods of Death, are considered to be the canon tomes on the subject of Tamriel's Order of Assassins. By luck, Gorming himself was also in Sentinel, and I was privileged to sit with the two in a dark skooma den in the musty slums of the city, as we smoked and talked about the Dark Brotherhood, the Morag Tong, and the Night Mother. Sounds like a fun night. While not disputing the possibility that the Night Mother may be immortal, or at least very long-lived, Assi thought it most likely that several women, and perhaps some men, throughout the ages had assumed the honorary title. It was no more logical to say there was only one Night Mother, he asserted, than to say there was only one King of Sentinel. Gorming argued that there never was a Night Mother, at least no human one. The Night Mother was Methala herself. whom the Brotherhood revered second only to Civis. I don't suppose there's any way of knowing for certain, I said in a note of diplomacy. Certainly there is, whispered Gorming with a grin. You could talk to that cloaked fellow in the corner. I had not noticed the man before, who sat by himself, eyes hidden by his cloak, seemingly as much a part of the dingy place as the rough stone and unswept floor. Turning back to Aenir, I asked him why that man would know about the Night Mother. He's a dark brother, hissed Polane Assi. That's as plain as the moons. Don't even joke about speaking with him about her. We moved on to other arguments about the Morag Tong and the Brotherhood, but I never forgot the image of the lone man, looking at nothing and everything, in the corner of a dirty room with fumes of skooma smoke floating around him like ghosts. When I saw him weeks later on the streets of Sentinel, I followed him. Yes, I followed him. The reader may reasonably ask, why and how? I don't blame you for that. How was simply a question of knowing my city as well as I do. I'm not a thief, not particularly sure-footed and quiet, for I know the alleys and streets of Sentinel intimately from decades' worth of ambling. I know which bridges creak, which buildings cast long irregular shadows, the intervals at which the native birds begin the ululations of their evening songs. With relative ease I kept pace with the Dark Brother and out of his sight and hearing. The answer to why is even simpler. I have the natural curiosity of a born writer. When I see a strange new animal, I must observe. It is a writer's curse. It's not very nice. Just because you see a silent man in the corner of a schooner's end, you don't have to call him an animal. Anyway, back to the book. I trailed the cloaked man deeper into the city, down an alleyway so narrow it was scarcely a crack between two tenements, past a crooked fence, and suddenly, miraculously, I was in a place I had never seen before, a little courtyard cemetery with a dozen old half-rotted wooden tombstones. None of the surrounding buildings had windows that faced it, so no one knew this miniature necropolis existed. No one, except the 6 men and 1 woman standing in it, and me. The woman saw me immediately and gestured for me to come closer. I could have run, but no, I couldn't have. I had pierced the mystery right in my adopted sentinel, and I could not leave it. She knew my name, and she said it with a sweet smile. The Night Mother was a little old lady with fluffy white hair, cheeks like wrinkled apples that still carried the flush of youth, friendly eyes blue as the Iliac Bay. She softly took my arm as we sat down amidst the graves and discussed murder. As you do. She was not always in Hammerfell, not always available for direct assignment, but it seemed she enjoyed actually talking to her clientele. I did not come here to hire the Brotherhood, I said respectfully. And why are you here? The Night Mother asked, her eyes never leaving mine. I told her I wanted to know about her. I did not expect an answer to that, but she told me, I do not mind the stories you writers dream up about me. She chuckled. Some of them are very amusing, and some of them are good for business. I like the sexy dark woman lounging on the divan in Karl of Actoanway's fiction particularly. The truth is that my history would not make a very dramatic tale. I was a thief long, long ago, back when the Thieves' Guild was only beginning. Wow, that's interesting. It's such a bother to sneak around a house when performing a burglary, and many of us found it most efficacious to strangle the occupant of the house. Oh. Well, we're going to find out about the Thieves' Guild and why that particular fact's interesting as well. Just for convenience, I suggested to the Guild that a segment of our order be dedicated to the arts and sciences of murder. It did not seem like such a controversial idea to me. The Night Mother shrugged. We had specialists in cat burglary, pickpocketing, lockpicking, fencing, all the other essential parts of the job. But the Guild thought that encouraging murder would be bad for business. Too much, they argued. Okay, well, I was going to say, the Thieves' Guild particularly frowns on murdering, and this is probably backstory to that. They might have been right, the old woman continued, but I discovered there is a profit to be made, just the same, from sudden death. Not only can one rob the deceased, but if your victim has enemies, which rich people often do, you can be paid for it even more. I began to murder people differently when I discovered that. After I strangled them, I would put 2 stones in their eyes, one black and one white. Why? I asked. It was a sort of calling card of mine. You're a writer. Don't you want your name on your books? I couldn't use my name, but I wanted potential clients to know me and my work. I don't do it anymore, no need to. But at the time, it was my signature. Word spread, and I soon had quite a successful business. And that became the Morag Tong? I asked. Oh dear me, no. The Night Mother smiled. The Morag Tong was around long before my time. I know I'm old, but I'm not that old. I merely hired on some of their assassins when they began to fall apart after the murder of the last potentate. They did not want to be members of the Tong anymore, and since I was the only other murder syndicate of any note, they just joined on. I phrased my next question carefully. Will you kill me now that you've told me all this? She nodded sadly, letting out a little grandmotherly sigh. You are such a nice, polite young man. I hate to end our acquaintanceship. I don't suppose you would agree to a concession or two in exchange for your life, would you? To my everlasting shame, I did agree. I said I would say nothing about our meeting, which, as the reader can see, was a promise I eventually, years later, chose not to keep. Damn, that's brave. If the Night Mother told me to do that, I'd probably keep my mouth shut. Why have I endangered my life thus? Because of the promises I did keep. I helped the Night Mother and the Dark Brotherhood in acts too despicable, too bloody for me to set to paper. My hand quivers as I think about the people I betrayed. Beginning with that night, I tried to write my poetry, but ink seemed to turn to blood. Finally, I fled, changing my name, going to a land where no one would know me. And I wrote this, the true history of the Night Mother. From the interview she gave me on the night we met, it will be the last thing I ever write, this I know, and every word is true. Pray for me. Editor's note. Though originally published anonymously, the identity of the author has never been in serious doubt. Any layman familiar with the work of the poet Enric Milnes will recognize Sacred Witness's familiar cadence and style in such books of his as Vialica. Shortly after publication, Milnes was murdered and his killer was never found. He had been strangled and 2 stones, a black one and a white one, crushed into his eye sockets, very brutally. Oh, well, I was going to say that could just be someone making it up, but the fact that they killed him after that meant maybe perhaps that is exactly who the Night Mother is, the origin story. So she was once part of a thieves guild, then all of a sudden... have we been in here before? No, this is the other side that we couldn't reach before. I think. Green stain cup cap. Not sure if we have that already, but I'll pick it up anyway. Take the torch. Okay, another locked chest. Weak potion of resistance, absorb minimal magicka, and some gold. And look at these. Yep. And we got ourselves another book. Hiding with the Shadow, worth 0 gold and weighing 2. Interesting. There are few professions that require the practitioner to be more self-reliant than that of thief. A thief is by nature a loner. He trusts no one and is trusted by few. He cannot go to a master and become an apprentice. He has no guild to collect and codify how to ply his craft. He does his crimes alone, and in the dark of night, he must hide by day to avoid capture by the authorities. The only known deity recognized by thieves is Nocturnal. Not truly a goddess, this Daedric Lord is nonetheless a potent figure. She is the mistress of shadows, holding sway over secrets and stealth. She does not ask for worshippers, nor does she necessarily give blessings to those that do recognize her. In fact, there are no known temples to her in Cyrodiil, although there are rumours of a forgotten shrine. In other words, she is perfectly suited to the criminal mind of a thief. By and large, thieves are a godless lot. They believe only in their own skills and cunning. However, since the existence and influence of the gods and Daedric lords is undeniable, they have an uneasy relationship with Nocturnal. Though some thieves truly worship her, Most choose to offer their respect and reverence without fealty. These criminals recognize that should they offend the Mistress of Shadows, it might go poorly for them. However, true worship and fealty does not have any known benefit. The classic blessing between thieves is, "Shadow hide you." This is an oblique reference to Nocturnal. However, it can also be interpreted to be a non-theistic statement of actual shadows hiding the thief. Thieves tend to dress in black clothes or dark clothing. Duh. While this is a practical thing for their criminal endeavours, it is unnecessary during the daylight hours. Yet many thieves still don these shadowy colours in silent recognition of Nocturnal. The most shocking link between the nebulous culture of thieves and Nocturnal is the tale of the Grey Fox. You've heard about him before. He is the mythical king of thieves, for legend states that he stole the hood off of Nocturnal's cloak. Obviously, this is just a story invented centuries ago to bolster their feelings of self-worth. However, it is indicative of the continued link between the Daedric Lord and the criminals of the Empire. Okay. Interesting intro to the Thieves Guild. And interesting that we'd find that in here. In reference to the fact that the Night Mother apparently started in the Thieves Guild. And yep, here's where we were at the start. Everyone's gone. And we can make our escape. I have escaped with a Mysterium Xerxes, now to deliver it to Martin at Cloud Ruler Temple. Alright, well before we do that, since we're got a lot of stuff on us, let's go back to Wayne and Priory and dump off our stuff. I saw a level up icon for a sec. Do I have any repair hammers? Probably one, because I have to keep one. Yeah, okay, I'm all out of repair hammers, so this broken katana is gonna have to go. Keep the short sword. Throw these away. Keep this. Should wear this light armor ring. So we'll put the freedom one away. Let's put these leather boots away. 9 of these ones and wear the other. That we can get rid of. We don't need that many restore fatigues. In fact, I don't know if we really need any. Keep 5, just in case. Anti-venom, dispel, fire, frost. Insulation, night type, resistance. Let's check on ingredients. Okay, clouded funnel cap we don't have. Flight amanita we do. Garlic we do have, so I can use garlic if I want. Green stain cup cap we do have, so I can use that. Imp gall I'm pretty sure we don't. Morning glory root pulp. Did I put one in here last time? Yes. Motherwort sprig. What about sacred lotus seeds? Yep. Okay. Let's put all of these away. as well put a note to Gwyneth there as well. Let's not do that. There we go. Feeling light as a feather now. Alright, let's head back to Cloud Ruler Temple and deliver news of our success.
Thank Talos you've returned safely. Do you have the amulet?
I have an amulet, really cool amulet of spell absorption, but not the one you want. No, Manka Cameron escaped with it.
Please tell me you have some good news.
Maybe. I have the Mysterium Xerxes.
Ah, good. You should take that to Martin right away. He'll be in the Great Hall reading. He's hardly taken time to sleep since you left.
Oh. Well, cheers for that, Joffrey.
Welcome aboard, sir. It will be an honor to serve with you.
No doubt. Okay, so this is the Great Hall. Let's see what the area is like first. Okay, we can take this stuff. So we've got leek, we've got mandrake root, which we didn't have before. Pewter bowl, I don't think we had. An onion. Oh, we can just...
My lord, I would speak with you.
Oh?
My lord? That isn't necessary. I'm just a man. Just a citizen of the Empire trying to do his duty. Just like you.
Of course, sire. I just wanted to let you know you're safe here, sir. Cloud Ruler is secure, and the blades stand ready.
No matter what happens, you must know. You must all know that I am eternally grateful for the service you blades have provided.
Oh, this is so
If I
cute.
may be so bold, you are the true Dragonborn, sir. There's no one here that doubts it. Any one of us would gladly die so that you may live.
The darkest days surely lie ahead.
Look at the cheese.
But I know that the blades will stand true for the Empire, as they always have.
You know it, Martin.
I thank you again for speaking with me, my lord. I'll leave you alone now. I know you're very busy. Until next time.
Well, what a very heartwarming convo. Let's see what else we can grab. Ceramic tankard, ceramic vase, ceramic urn. Sure I didn't have any of this stuff. Around here. Some ale. Tan picture I know we have now. Tan mug. I'll take it anyway. There's a book here. Have I read Beggar? Not sure. There's tan picture. Tan plate. I don't know. I'll take one anyway. Pigskin shoes. Yeah, worth something. Let's read Beggar. Oh, athletic skill increased. Beggar by Revan. Eslaf Errol was the last of a litter of 5 born to the queen of a prosperous Nordic kingdom of Erelgard, Lape Copa, and her husband, the king of Erelgard, Itzluaf. During pregnancy, the queen had been more than twice as wide as she was tall, and the act of delivery took 3 months and 6 days after it had begun. It is perhaps understandable that the Lape Copa elected, upon expelling Eslaf to frown, say, "Good riddance," and die. Like many Nords, Itzluaf did not care very much for his wife, and less for his children. His subjects were puzzled, therefore, when he announced that he would follow the ancient tradition of his people of Atmora of following his beloved spouse to the grave. He had not thought they were particularly in love, nor were they aware that such a tradition existed. Still, the simple people were grateful, for little royal drama alleviated their boredom, which was and is a common problem in the more obscure parts of northern Skyrim, particularly in wintertide. He gathered his household staff and his 5 fat, bawling little heirs in front of him, and divided his estate. To his son Inop he gave his title. To his son Lionu he gave his land. To his son Suoibud he gave his fortune. To his daughter Lysifictra, he gave his army. Itlua's advisor suggested he keep the inheritance together for the good of the kingdom, but Itlua did not particularly care for his advisors, or the kingdom for that matter. Upon making his announcement, he drew his dagger across his throat. Wow. One of the nurses, who was rather shy, finally decided to speak as the king's life ebbed away. "Your Highness, you forgot your fifth child, little Eslaf." Good Itzloaf groaned. It is somewhat hard to concentrate with blood gushing from one's throat after all. I know, right? The king tried in vain to think of something to bequeath. There was nothing left. Finally he sputtered irritably, "Eslaf should have taken something then," and died. That a babe but a few days old was expected to demand his rightful inheritance was arguably unfair, but so Eslaf Erol was given his birthright with his father's dying breath. He would have nothing but what he had taken. Since no one else would have him, the shy nurse, whose name was Druspa, took the baby home. It was a decrepit little shack, and over the years that followed, it became more and more decrepit. Unable to find work, Druspa sold all of her furnishings to buy food for little Eslaf. By the time he was old enough to walk and talk, she had sold the walls and the roof as well, so they had nothing but a floor to call home. And if you've ever been to Skyrim, you can appreciate that that is scarcely sufficient. Druspa did not tell Eslaf the story of his birth, or that his brothers and sister were leading quite nice lives with their inheritances, for, as we have said, she was rather shy, and found it difficult to broach the subject. You have mentioned that quite a few times, yeah. She was so painfully shy, in fact, that whenever he asked any questions about where he came from, Druspa would run away. That's pretty shy. That was more or less her answer to everything, to flee. In order to communicate with her at all, Eslaf learned how to run almost as soon as he could walk. He couldn't keep up with his adopted mother at first, but in time he learned to go toe-heel if he anticipated a short but fast sprint, and heel-toe if it seemed Druspa was headed for a long-distance marathon flight. He never did get all the answers he needed from her, but Eslaf did learn how to run. The kingdom of Erelgard had, in the years that Eslaf was growing, become quite a grim place. King Inop did not have a treasury, for Soebud had been given that. He did not have any property for income, for Lianu had been given that. He did not have an army to protect the people, for Lysifictra had been given that. Furthermore, as he was but a child, all decisions in the kingdom went through Inop's rather corrupt council. It had become a bureaucratic, exploitative land of high taxes, rampant crime, and regular incursions from neighbouring kingdoms. Not a particular unusual situation for a kingdom of Tamriel, but an unpleasant one nonetheless. The time finally came when the tax collector arrived at Druspa's hovel, such as it was to collect the only thing he could, the floor. Rather than protest, the poor shy maid ran away, and Eslaf never saw her again. Without a home or a mother, Eslaf did not know what to do. He had grown accustomed to the cold open air in Druspa's shack, but he was hungry. "May I have a piece of meat?" he asked the butcher down the street. "I am very hungry." The man had known the boy for years, often spoke to his wife about how sorry he felt for him, growing up in a home with no ceilings or walls. He smiled and Eslaf said, "Go away, or I'll hit you." Eslaf hurriedly left the butcher and went to a nearby tavern. The tavern keeper had been a former valet in the king's court and knew that the boy was by right a prince. Many times he had seen the poor ragged lad in the streets and sighed at the way fate had treated him. "May I have something to eat?" Eslaf asked this tavern keeper. "I'm very hungry." "You're lucky I don't cook you up and eat you," replied the tavern keeper. Eslaf hurriedly left the tavern. For the rest of the day the boy approached the good citizens of Erelgard begging for food. One person had thrown something at him, but it turned out to be an inedible rock. Damn, I hate it when that happens. As night fell, a raggedy man came up to Eslaf, and without saying a word, handed him a piece of fruit and a piece of dried meat. The lad took it, wide-eyed, and as he devoured it, he thanked the man very sweetly. "If I see you begging on the streets tomorrow," the man growled, "I'll kill you myself. There are only so many beggars we of the guild allow in any one town, and you make it one too many. You're ruining business. It was a good thing Eslaf Errol knew how to run. He ran all night. Eslaf Errol's story is continued in the book Thief. Alright, really interesting. Don't know why the blades want that one, but sure. Okay, some ale, some mead, some Cerulean Rose wine here. Bread and a potato. Ceramic pitcher, ceramic plate. Which ones do I have? I'll take both of them. Hey, Caroline. Okay, I think that's about it. But there's a couple more books here which we haven't read before. So let's have a read of this one, The Amulet of Kings. This is very relevant. The Amulet of Kings by Wenengris Monhona. In the first years of the First Era, a powerful race of elves called the Aelids, or the Heartland High Elves, ruled central Tamriel with an iron hand. The high and haughty Aelids relied on their patrons, the treacherous Daedra Lords, to provide armies of Daedra and dead spirits. With these fearless magical armies, the Aelids preyed without mercy upon the young races of men, slaughtering or enslaving them at their whim. On behalf of the suffering human races, Saint Alicia, the first in the line of Cyrodiils, sought the aid of Akatosh, the dragon god of time, and ruler of the noble Aedra. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart, and blessed Saint Alessia with this blood of dragons, and made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavour to seal tight the gates of Oblivion, and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving Aelids. In token of this covenant, Akatosh gave to Alicia and her descendants the Amulet of Kings and the eternal dragonfires of the Imperial City. Thus does Alicia become the first gem in the Cyrodiilic Amulet of Kings. The gem is the red diamond in the middle of the amulet. This is the symbol of the Empire and later taken as the symbol of the Septim line. It is surrounded by 8 other gems, one for each of the divines. So long as the Empire shall maintain its worship of Akatosh and his kin, and so long as Alicia's heirs shall bear the Amulets of Kings, Akatosh and his divine kin maintain a strong barrier between Tamriel and Oblivion, so that mortal man need never again fear the devastating summoned hosts of the Daedra Lords. But if the Empire should slacken in its dedication to the 9 divines, or if the blood of Alessia's heirs should fail, then shall the barriers between Tamriel and the Daedric realms fall, and Daedra worshippers might summon lesser Daedra and undead spirits to trouble the races of men. Wow, pretty accurate guess there, bro. And finally, another book, Modern Heretics, which has added a map marker to us. Okay, it's not that long. Modern Heretics, a study of Daedra worship in the Empire Haderus of Gottlesfont. Daedra worship is not prohibited by law in Cyrodiil. Primarily this is a result of the Imperial Charter granted the Mages Guild permitting the summoning of Daedra. Nonetheless, chapel and public opinion is so strongly against Daedra worship that those who practice Daedric rituals do so in secret. However, opinions about Daedra worship differ widely in other provinces. Even in Cyrodiil, traditional opinions have changed greatly over the years, and some communities survive which worship Daedra. Some more traditional Daedra worshippers are motivated by piety and personal conviction. Many modern Daedra worshippers are motivated by a lust for arcane power. In particular, questing heroes of all stripes seek after the fabled Daedric artifacts for their potent combat and magical benefits. I personally discovered one community worshipping the Daedra Lord Azura, Queen of Dawn and Dusk. A researcher curious about Daedra worship might research in several ways: through a study of the literature, through exploration and discovery of ancient Daedric shrines, through questioning local informants, and through questioning worshippers themselves. I used all these means to discover the Shrine of Azura. First, I read books. References like this one may provide a helpful general background concerning Daedric shrines. For example, my research has led me to understand that in Cyrodiil, Daedric shrines are generally represented by statues of Daedra lords, are generally situated in wilderness locations far from settlements, but each shrine generally has associated with it a community of worshippers, often referred to as a coven, that shrines have associated with them a particular time, often a day of a week, when a Daedra lord might be solicited. That Daedra lord often will not deign to respond unless they regard a petitioner of sufficient prowess or strength of character, for they will only respond if given the proper offering, the secret of which offering often known only to the community of worshippers, and that in return for the completion of some task or service, the Daedra lords will often undertake to offer an artifact of power to a successful quester. Then I questioned locals with an intimate knowledge of the wilderness. 2 classes of informants I found especially useful: well-travelled hunters and adventurers who might come across shrines in their travels, and scholars of the Mages Guild. In the case of the Shrine of Azura, both sources were profitable. What was I going to say? I think the stream may have disconnected for a little bit. Sorry if it did. I'm back. What was I gonna say? Right, so this basically explains how Daedra shrines work in this game. So you go to the shrine. Some of them can only be talked to at certain times. Most of them need an offering. They give you a quest, you do it, and you get a cool Daedric artifact. Let's take that. And finally, let's turn in the quest to Martin.
Ah, you're back. I told Joffrey not to worry.
You know how good I am, don't you?
I can see you've had bad news. You didn't recover the amulet, did you?
No, I'm sorry, Martin. But I have a Mysterium Xarxes.
By the 9! Such a thing is dangerous even to handle!
Oh, alright.
Forgive me.
Please.
You were right to bring it, but you'd better give it to me. I know some ways to protect myself from its evil power.
Yeah, that's good to know. Can the Xarxes lead us to Cameron?
I don't know. Maybe. I suspect that the secret of how to open a portal to Cameron's paradise lies within these pages.
So we're gonna follow him then?
But I will need time. Tampering with dark secrets, even just reading them, can be very dangerous. I'll have to proceed
Man, I've
carefully.
been reading dark secrets this whole episode.
In the meantime, you should speak to Joffrey. He was concerned about reports of spies in Bruma.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Can you tell me more about Daedric magic, since you seem to be so knowledgeable about it?
I put aside the dark arts when I became a priest, but the workings of fate may be seen in this too.
Yeah, I suppose.
The gods can turn anything to good, or so I piously told those who came to see me for advice. Perhaps I may yet come to believe it myself.
Nice. Mysterium Xarxes?
This evil book was written by Mehrunes Dagon himself, and given by him to Manca Cameron.
I touched pages that
I believe
Mehrunes
Manca
Dagon
Cameron
touched.
used it to create his paradise. It should give us the means to open a gate there ourselves. I will continue studying it.
Sweet. Tell me more about an Oblivion Gate?
It is now clear to me that the only way to stop the Oblivion invasion is to relight the Dragonfires.
Yeah.
Emperor, Amulet, and Dragonfire. With these divine gifts, the Daedra of Oblivion have been kept at bay for thousands of years. While the Dragonfires burned, the divine barriers kept the Daedra from making more than fleeting visits to our world. But the Dragonfires can only be relit by an heir of the Septim blood, wielding the Amulet of Kings. This was the essence of Manca Cameron's plot. He was undone only by the merest chance. But his complete victory remains perilously close.
Pretty much depends on you, mate.
We must recover the Amulet of Kings and relight the Dragonfires before it is too late to stem Dagon's invasion.
Hear that?
I hope to have at least part of the Mysterium Xarxes translated in a few days. Speak to Joffrey about the spies in the meantime.
Okay, no problem. Let's make a few more potions though, with the food we found lying around. Didn't use the green stain cup cap. I could have done. Eek. Onion. Garlic? No. But I can use the garlic if I want to. Mandrake root we need to keep. Potato? No. Alright, that's it. Okay, we're gonna end the episode in just a sec. But before we do, oops. Gonna go back to Wayland Priory again and dump off the rest of my stuff. Alright, forgot to put this on. Forgot to put this on. Okay. Well, another long bit of reading. Gone into Maiden's Dagon's shrine, murdered everyone, and we've got the Mysterium Xarxes, although we didn't get the amulet. You know, Manco Cameron has a paradise, and that's probably where he's keeping the amulet, and Martin's going to work out how to get there. Next time, we're going to talk to Joffrey about those spies and see what's bothering him. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Take care.